for Indianapolis. She better not be rooting for them Colts. I better not catch her rooting for those Colts. She goes by the name of Sabrina Looney. She's in the building. Much love. Big ups to her. And my homie from Wyoming, the queen of the Bear fans. She goes by the name of Regina Hawk. She in the building. Long time no see. Thank you for joining the farm again. Hailing from the north side of Chicago. Killing the game. My homie from Wyoming, they call her Moni. She's big time. What's good? I did not get any water. And hailing from Houston, a.k.a. Broadville, Illinois, a.k.a. the west side of Chicago, a.k.a. Just Joe. This week, he's Joe from Houston. He in the building. I got my man, with a dope show on his own. He big time Dallas Cowboy fan. He taking shots at the number one Chief Rocker jersey. Vern already. Truck D is in the building. If you see his name, hit the Abby so you can get alerts when his show come on. Good to see you, Truck. Good to see you. I got the dude who holding down the left coast. Big time Cowboy fan. Fresh out of South Central, the dopest DJ west of the Mississippi. He killed it last night with Love Jones. He killed it Sunday night, Love Jones. Tomorrow afternoon, he gonna kill Westside Wednesdays. He goes by the name, appropriately, E. Great. He in the building. And it looks like it's time for me to start talking. Even though that's easy, it's going to be difficult. I got background listeners who I knew, and I want to kick it off with my girl, Denise Milk and Cookie. She's in the building from Selma, Alabama. Much love. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I'll do my very best not to waste your time. Now, this is the first week of real football. Saturday, we got a whole boatload of college football games. I'm going to talk about that. The U.S. Open is still going on where Serena Williams is entering the quarterfinals. It's going to be a very interesting situation because Serena has made it to the finals in several majors. She has not finished the deal. Hopefully she will finish the deal this week. And if she does, it'll be a big ups to Serena. She will tie the all-time records for majors. She on the Tiger Woods side of the game in regards to taking over the number one slot. Hopefully she can do a lot better than Mr. Woods has done. Otherwise, guess what? Either one of them, if they never win again, we will identify them as all-time greats. Speaking of all-time greats, I got my girl 310, a.k.a. Low Key, in the building. Thank you, Low Key. Hailing from South Central California. She's in the building. Football starts for real Saturday, or it actually starts Thursday. For those who are in the Midwest, you understand who holds down the Midwest. It is the Bears. The Bears and the Packers open up the season Thursday night. We're going to see what's going on. Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk about that a little later. Big ups to the Bears and the Bear fans. As usual, I have a power ranking. I'm going to piss some people off, make a couple people happy, and we'll get a little argument going. Otherwise, it's going to be an interesting show. I got a lot more, but I think it's time for me to start talking. It's been going. Y'all done heard music. Y'all done heard foolishness and madness for 19 minutes. Now it's time to hear your man HRap kick it off. And you already know it is time to go. Now, I'm going to start off pissing off the number one Chief Rocker who don't drink no cheap vodka. Big ups to him. Thank you for listening, but it's time to piss him off. I'm going straight for Major League Baseball, people. Big ups to Justin Verlander, being the only one of three people who pitched several no-hitters against the same team. Big ups to him. As I've been telling y'all the last 3 weeks, Major League Baseball is heating up. They call it the dog days of summer. It is September now. It is the end of the Major League Baseball season. Things have heated up exponentially. We're going to have a whole lot of fun with this fall classic. A lot of people don't pay attention, but I do. And seeing how a lot of people don't have a show, guess what you have to listen to? Baseball information. Now, as usual, the Yankees are holding it down. The Yankees are one of the most powerful teams in all of baseball. They're holding down the American League East and they have a 9.5 game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. The Minnesota Twins are finally stretched it out of the Cleveland Indians. The Indians' health are failing them, so the Indians are not looking good at all of a sudden. The Houston Astros, 10.5 games. They one of the hottest teams in all of baseball. They're getting it in. The Braves, they're waking up. They're waking up. They are waking up. They have a 6.5 game lead over the Nationals. The St. Louis Cardinals are starting to stretch out over the Cubs. The Cubs are not looking good. It's looking good for St. Louis. And in the West, it is the Dodgers. It's been the Dodgers all season, all day, every day. The Dodgers are doing the damn thing. People, talk to me about them Dodgers. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I'll tell you what. Within the next 2 weeks, the hottest team in all of baseball will be the team that wins it all. Trust and believe that. Now, the teams that are holding it down in the wild card division portion of the playoff are the Cleveland Indians in the American League. They are tied with the Tampa Rays. No one goes to Rays games. Please, no disrespect to the people down there in Tampa, St. Pete, but we don't really want to see y'all in the playoffs, even though y'all probably might put up a great fight, but don't nobody come to y'all games. So since seeing how nobody's coming to y'all games, I'm really rooting for the Cleveland Indians, which is sacrilegious when you live in Chicago and you're a White Sox fan, or the Oakland Athletics. At least the stadiums will be filled. It'll be rocking. It'll be fun. And big ups to anybody who kicking the Boston Red Sox ass, because that means I'm a fan of you. I'm going to flip it over to the American League, and the National League, excuse me. And the Washington Nationals have a chokehold on that number one slot, 3.5 games up with 3 weeks to go. It don't seem like a lot, but if you get hot at the right time, it means nothing. The Cubs are squarely in charge of that second place, but the Cubs are off, on, hot, cold, up, down. Cubs, we need y'all to wake up so I can rub it in number one Chief Rocker face. Even though I'm not a Cub fan, I live in Chicago, and I want to rub it in Chief Rocker face as many times as possible. Now, I mentioned a second ago about Justin Verlander. This dude has had a resurgence since he went to the Houston Astros. You may say, oh man, change the scenery. A lot of people try to run this change the scenery thing, but this is a pet peeve of mine. For whatever reason, what was that? At the turn of the century, 1999, 1997, when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire allegedly they bought baseball back. That's what people always say. They bought baseball back. Without that home run race, we don't know what baseball would be. Okay, that's cool. I can deal with that. I could definitely smoke a bag of that. But at the end of the day, what happened was a lot of people were using performance-enhancing drugs, and due to those performance-enhancing drugs, the record books are all skewed. Now, that's the story that's being disseminated throughout the public and throughout the sports world. That's not necessarily the truth. Because no matter how many drugs you pump in your system, no matter how many performance enhancers you use, if you cannot put that bat on the ball consistently, you can be strong as an ox and strike out all day long, all day, every day. And look who I just seen walk in the room. It goes by my main man, Macy, the number one Cub fan in America. Big ups to my main man, Macy. He's in the building. Thanks for the support. Now, as I was stating, man, a lot of people like to refer to Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, my main man, Barry Bonds, and others as the faces of the steroid era. The reason I'm even bringing this up is Justin Verlander is, in my opinion, a user of performance-enhancing drugs. This looks eerily similar to when one Roger Clemens was run out of Boston. His arm looked dead, and all of a sudden, he goes up to Toronto and wins back-to-back Cy Young Awards. We've never seen this before, and bam, it's on. Roger Clemens is looking like the Roger Clemens from 1986 through 1990. Nobody brings up the fact that Roger is one of the faces of PEDs as well. And if we're going to bury people like Mark McGwire and others for using PEDs, we got to get everybody involved. People, performance-enhancing drugs, or we used to call them back in the day, steroids, they don't make you good. It is about building up your body and making you as strong as possible. And the only way you can do that is with performance-enhancing drugs, because the body will be fatigued. And when the body fatigues, it breaks down. Performance-enhancing drugs allow you not to suffer from said fatigue. And when you don't get tired, you can work out 7 days a week, 8 days a week, 9, whatever. You can work out as many times as you want. You get bigger, stronger, potentially faster, and you push your body to the human limits. The reason I'm bringing this up again is Justin Verlander is looking just like Roger Clemens, as I stated before. And nobody's talking about this because, again, these baseball writers, and I'm going to get on their ass a little later when I talk about this thing with the National Basketball Association, but they're turning the blind out of this. They want to shake his hand and pat him on the back. See, they do this to people without the melanin. If you're not overdosing on melanin, you can't get away with anything. But when you have a melanin deficiency in melanin, they gonna get on your ass. And if I'm offending some of my listeners who have a deficiency in melanin, I'm sorry. If the truth hurts you, don't get mad at me. I can tell the truth. The truth don't care who tell it, and it asks me to say it, so I'm gonna say it. But as I was stating, Justin Verlander, in my personal opinion, is using performance-enhancing drugs. I'm not saying that he is. It's just my opinion. I'm not liable, Mr. Verlander. But I've never seen anybody who was not on performance-enhancing drugs come from where he was when he was with Detroit, bounce all the way back and becomes the man. I got to get me some performance-enhancing drugs myself. Okay, Denise Milk and Cookie is always welcome to participate. And if you want to participate as well, create a profile, come into the chat room, holler at your boy, tell me to shut up, or you can call 773-803-9822. Thank you, Denise, for participating. You guys know I like the back and forth. If I say something that you agree, don't agree with, or just want to be a participant in the show, you have the ability to call. Now, as I was stating, man, look, I'm a big-time fan of all sports. And it's to the point where I'm actually getting further and further away from being a fan of a particular team. I'm going back to when I was a little boy and being a fan of players. I'm a fan of Justin Verlander. I just think he's cheating. But if you've listened to my show more than one time, you understand my concept and the way I think is if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I'm not holding his feet to the fire, so to speak. But what I am doing is holding mainstream media and the national media's feet to the fire, because at the end of the day, if you're going to get HRap for doing what I do, and you're going to get Chuck D for doing what he do, or Jersey Vern for doing what he does, we got to get on everybody. Nobody is above the law. And look, if you get caught, you cheat. Look, Catfish Hunter, he was a cheater. He never got caught. Other people were cheating. They never got caught. It's to the point to whereas when they were using those uppers and those barbiturates in the 60s and the 70s, people, oh no, they didn't use performance enhancers. If you're using uppers to fight for teams, you are cheating. That's a performance enhancer. Is it some tranquilizer to make a horse stronger? No, it's not. Is it what Ben Johnson used to make himself faster? Yes, it is. So it's the same thing. If you got 6 in one hand and half a dozen in the other hand, you got 12 items in your hands. And people are overlooking this. Don't be shocked if at some point Justin Verlander, it comes out that he is breaking the rules or circumventing the rules. He's fracturing the rules. Because what happens is, and mainstream media consistently, when they talk about Bonds, when they talk about Sosa, when they talk about Manny Ramirez, they consistently talk about how these guys are circumventing the cheating process. And every time there's a cheater finds a new way every time they get caught. By the time you catch the cheater doing it, it's 10 other ways to do it. I think my man Verlander is using one of those 10. With that being said, it's time to get down with this big time news. Here come the news of the Power Rankings in Major League Baseball. Looks like Chief Rocker won't be the only person mad, because my man Macy's in the lick. Last week, the Chicago Cubs were number 9. They've fallen down to, number 10. This week, they're number 11. Get it together, Cubs. I need to be rooting for you. This week, the St. Louis Cardinals, even though they're at the top of the division, they are number 10 at a 76-60 clip. Big ups to them. Next up is the Cleveland Indians. Due to injuries and their inability to dominate and play through those injuries, the Cleveland Indians are 79-58. They're holding it down for the number 1 playoff spot, but they are not holding it down for that division anymore. They're number 9 in the division. The Tampa Rays, they falling off like old drugs. They used to be number 7 this week. They're number 8. The Tampa Rays, they still